What's up, everybody? How you doing? Thank you for joining me today. It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood of Lawrenceville, Georgia. I am here today with another story, and from what I could actually read, I haven't read all of it yet, but I'm going to get into it in a second. It seems to be a very telling case about someone that disappeared in a, yes, you guessed it, national park. I'm gonna get into that in a second. Just give me a few minutes here. I gotta go into this. There we go. All right. Today's case that I'm going to talk about here is going to be about a young man named Aaron Joseph Hedges. Trying to make sure I understand exactly when he disappeared. And it says right here in the update, human remains confirmed to be hunter missing since 2014. All right, so from the update, it says remains located on private property west of Melville. August 5th has been identified as Aaron Joseph Hedges, a Bozeman hunter who went missing in the crazy mountains. That's it. Okay. Here's one thing that I've noticed in a lot of these cases. People who disappear in certain areas where they're either hunting or they're going out for a hike or going out for, whatever reason, they're jogging on a trail or they're hiking, like I said, or climbing a mountain, whatever the case may be. They all have weird names attached to them, like Devil's Bowl, Devil's Backbone. Then you got this one, Crazy Mountains. So I'm like, okay, it makes you wonder where these names be coming from. I did look up the Devil's Bowl once, and it says something about somebody worshiping the devil, and they were trying to give themselves to evil or sacrifice themselves to evil or something like that. And from what I heard, that's where the name came from, Devil's Bowl. But like I said, it's weird. So I want to look into some of the other places that have these weird names with the word devil in it to see where they come from as well. But as far as that one goes, that's what I found out about. But anyway, with this one, like I said, he was a Bozeman hunter who went missing in the crazy mountains in September of 2014. Sweetgrass County Under Sheriff Alan Ronneberg said a medical examiner was able to confirm the identity of the remains using the dental records August 9th, and an investigation into the cause of death is still pending. Okay, now this is a perfect case about people who are found dead, or they find their remains and they can't seem to find the cause of death. And right now, the cause of death is still pending. Now, have they found the cause of death yet? I don't know, because this was posted back in 2014. So this is actually an old post, I would imagine. They did an update, but this was on August 11th. They didn't say anything about the year, so I'm guessing they did an update somewhere around the same time frame in 2014. But yeah, by the fact that the cause of death hasn't been confirmed yet, it could be a reason why. It could be because they didn't find the cause of death, and they're trying to come up with a good enough thing to say in order to appease the parents, the family members, the friends, and the media, and all kinds of other people. So, whenever they can't find a cause of death, they always come up with some asinine, reason for them being dead, and that would be hypothermia, or they succumb to the elements, or whatever. It's always something other than what they know that they found but don't want to talk about. So if they say that they found them in a weird position as far as their death, then okay, they can't explain it. They can't explain why they were dead, because there was probably no sign of claw marks on the body, maybe they were attacked by a large animal like a mountain lion or whatever. There's no drugs in the system. You name it, it's not there. So it's just a lifeless corpse. And I have mentioned this before about what that guy Derek Tyler said about how reptilian aliens feed off of energy, whether it be your spirit energy, your soul energy, or the energy, your energy alone, which is, I think, all of it is connected. But the fact that you can't seem to find a reason why they're dead the only thing I could think of at that point is the fact that their energy was sucked or drained out of their body or out of their system, for them to just die like that without having any cause of death. That's my interpretation. So I would think that other people would think that too. But if they did think about it, they didn't want to put it in the newspaper because they knew they would probably be looked at as a bunch of crazy people. I said, how is that even possible? You can't drain someone's energy unless they drain themselves by tiring themselves out. I'm pretty sure that's what they would be thinking. But that's very true. You get very tired from running all day or doing whatever. You're playing with your kids. You get tired. You want to go to sleep. Or you want to rest. That's how that works. But you don't do that until you're dead. I've never heard that before, where you work and play until you just fall out. I'm not saying it's not possible. You probably pass out, but you won't die unless your heart rate couldn't take it and your heart just stopped. Maybe you overexerted yourself. So it is possible. But if there's no signs of that in your body, like, I'm pretty sure there'd be some scarring on the heart, from the friction that your heart causes if it's beating too fast. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a medical examiner or anything, or a coroner. So, a coroner doesn't do stuff like that. The medical examiner does. But anyway, but like I said, for a person to be found dead and there's no cause of death, but yet you still got a lifeless body here, that would mean that if all else fails, the only thing left is that something or someone drained the energy right out of their body. And that's what the reptilian aliens do. Now, I'm not saying that you have to believe in reptilian aliens. I mean, you can take that for whichever way you want, but I'm just saying I'm into the paranormal. That's what I'm all about. Paranormal, abductions, aliens, UFOs, all that stuff. I'm into all that stuff because I've seen stuff that will probably turn other people's hair white. I was very intrigued by it, so I was, I'm able to process all of this information a lot more than most people. I can accept it, let alone believe it, because if you really think about it, there's a lot of things about this planet that we don't even know about, okay? And there's a lot of things that happen that you can't explain. Like, say, if you see a rain cloud in the sky, where would that come from? How would that even happen? Now, I'm pretty sure some meteorologist or scientist would tell you what causes that, but that's just them trying to keep you away from the absolute truth, if you ask me, because I've never heard of anomalies like that occurring in the sky. Now, there have been cases where these like balls of light appear in the sky, or you see a cloud that has something coming out of it that don't look like a plane, and that would be because a wormhole formed inside the clouds. But anyway, I'm getting off track here. Okay, so now after saying that, I'm gonna say this. Okay, where was I? Okay. Now, for the full story, see the August 11th issue of the Big Timber Pioneer. Now, at 8:16 p.m. on August 6th, the Sweetgrass County Sheriff's Office responded Friday to a report of human remains located on private property west of Melville. Personal items with the skeleton as well as the location indicate the remains, to be those of Aaron Hedges, a hunter who went missing in August of 2014. Hedges of Bozeman. Oh, okay. I'm thinking that they were saying Bozeman, like he was one of those bow hunters. I thought that was just a name for it because it said a Bozeman hunter, but that's the name of the county or town he was living in. So that was my bad. I'm glad I got that part cleared up. But anyway, okay. Now, Bozeman was 38 at the time of his disappearance. Under Sheriff Alan Ronberg said positive identification is pending. A pathologist. A pathologist. I'm having a brain fart today. A pathologist is in the process of reviewing dental records, he said. Officers from both Sweetgrass and Park Counties park countries responded to the scene. Hedges was initially reported missing September 7th of 2014, and was last seen in the Campfire Lake area of the Crazy Mountains, where he'd been hunting with two friends. Search and rescue crews from Park and Sweetgrass counties conducted several searches throughout the area that located a pair of boots, camelback bladder water filter, fire spot, and a wood pile believed to belong to Hedges near Sweetgrass Creek. In late September of 2014, crews decided to halt their efforts, bearing more conclusive evidence. Bearing any more conclusive evidence. Excuse me, guys. Ugh, I hate that feeling. Like I got a hair on my eyes. Ridiculous. Shoot. Okay. Sorry about that. But anyway, now the following summer, a rancher located a cache of additional items on the Rain Anchor Ranch, including a bow, backpack, field gear, and hunting license with Hedges. Okay, so he was a bow hunter. Okay, cool. That's a more humane way of hunting, even though I still think hunting is a very barbaric way of enjoying yourself in the wilderness. But anyway, that's just me. I don't want to down any other hunters because that's what they like to do, and I applaud you for that. That's your thing, that's not my thing. But anyway, okay. The field gear, Okay, now, landowner Rebecca Rain described the location where the items were found as full of pine trees, broken down branches, and tall grasses. It's pretty low where it was, actually, Rain said at the time. It was too far off. Let's see. Now we just would have never guessed it was that close. He could see the house. The teams searched within a half-mile radius of the location and uncovered additional items, but did not find any remains at that time. Romberg said Friday the skeleton was found near the same area of the June 2015 search. Okay. But yeah, the fact still remains too that he was traveling with a group of people while hunting, and somehow they can't even explain how, but somehow they got separated. Anyway, the fact that they couldn't find anything, and the fact that he actually went to he went out there with some friends, and they actually couldn't somehow they got separated. It's just a weird thing because you traveling with a group and somehow you got separated and they don't know how it happened. So I don't know, maybe their mind was on hunting. They were probably looking for game. And something the people he was with were probably in front of him, and he was looking this way, they were looking that way, and when they weren't looking at each other, somehow they got separated, and they still don't know how that could have happened, but it did happen, and that's how he ended up disappearing, So and they said that they somehow got off the trail as well, so and that's always the case with these people, they get off a trail or they somehow get separated from the crew that they're with, and after that, they don't even realize until it was too late that they somehow got separated, and they start looking for them and they can't find them. So whatever this is waits until that point where they can take them, and poof, they're gone. Okay, so, but that's pretty much it on that case. It was a pretty small case because they couldn't find the cause of death, and the fact that this is one of those isolated situations where they are away from the group, so they don't know what happened. They don't know how it happened. They just disappeared. They lost track of them, and you would think they should have found them if they knew where to look, or even if they didn't know where to look. I'm pretty sure they searched all of those areas, where they think that he could have been, but he wasn't there. So where he is or where he could have been, they don't know. But they did find his remains. It's the fact that you don't know how he even got to that point. So I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, that, like I said, that's it on that case. There's a couple more cases I wanted to read about, but I'll make another video about that. But that's it for this one. This was going to be like a short video because of the fact that the information was very light. It wasn't very heavy like most of the stories that I read about. So I'm going to look into another one. I think this is like a double disappearance that I saw on a forum that's on Facebook that I'm a part of. So I'm going to look into that and see what that has to say. And I'll come back a little later and post another video about that, as the day moves on. So you guys know how I do it. Aloha, mahalo, and ahuyo. Hang loose, guys. Peace out.